Thank you for watching this short video. It will provide information on how to complete the required forms and handle your ballots when voting by special ballot, also known as mail-in ballot, in the 2025 general municipal election. I'm Angela Bilski and I've been an advisor with Municipal Affairs for over 9 years. My colleague Charlene Brown is an advisor in the municipal viability area of the ministry and will be demonstrating the processes I will talk about. If you voted by special ballot in previous elections, please be aware that there have been some significant changes to the processes for this election. This webinar will examine these changes and help ensure you complete this process correctly. Here is a quick overview of this session. I will first touch on the Permanent Electors Register, or PER for short. This is the first local election that will require this register, so I will talk about the significance of this change. I will also discuss who is eligible to vote by special ballot and describe the processes by which an elector can request a special ballot package. Then I will go through the process of following through with voting by special ballot and returning the package to your local jurisdiction. My colleague Charlene will also be demonstrating the steps involved in filling out the appropriate forms and how to return the package so that your vote gets counted. For your awareness, throughout this webinar, I will be using the term local jurisdiction, which can include both a municipality and a school division. A significant change to the special ballot process for this election is the introduction of the Permanent Electors Register. Municipalities must now prepare a PER of residents in the municipality who are eligible to vote, compiled and revised primarily using information received from Elections Alberta, which is the independent nonpartisan office of the Legislative Assembly responsible for administering provincial elections, by-elections, and referenda. While using the PER is a requirement for the vast majority of municipalities, some villages may, but are not required to, enter into an agreement to use it. However, if a summer village does not opt to prepare a PER, it will impact their ability to offer special ballots, which we'll talk about in the next slide. Electors can be added to the PER through the VoterLink website up until September 14, 2025. After that, they can be added at a voting station at an advance poll or on election day. There is also a process to be added through the special ballot application process, which I will discuss in a moment. Who is eligible to vote by special ballot? It's important to note that the legislation governing local elections, which is the Local Authorities Election Act, or LAEA for short, was recently amended and now states that an elector whose name is contained in the Permanent Elector Register and who is unable to vote at an advance vote or at the voting station on election day may apply to vote by special ballot. However, offering special ballots to electors is at the discretion of each local jurisdiction. It is not a requirement. The decision to provide for special ballots can be made by the municipal council or school board up until nomination day, which is September 22, 2025. Those of you who have voted by special ballot in previous elections might remember that special ballots could only be provided due to physical disability, absence from a local jurisdiction, or being an election official who could not vote due to carrying out their official duties. These conditions are no longer required. Electors can now request and be provided with a special ballot as long as they are on the Permanent Electors Register and can't attend a voting station at an advance vote or on election day for whatever reason. This is a high-level overview of the special ballot process. The next few slides will provide much more detail. If your name is listed in the PER, you can request a special ballot by completing Form 22, and then you will receive the necessary documents and materials to vote by special ballots. Local jurisdictions can allow for this form to be completed by a deputy returning officer on your behalf while speaking with you over the phone. How will you know if your name is listed in the PER? When you contact your local jurisdiction office to make a special ballot application, they should be able to check for you. If your name is not contained in the PER, you must first be added to it before you can request a special ballot by completing a preliminary process before being able to make a special ballot application. Let's look at both of these scenarios in more detail. For those electors whose names are already listed in the PER, applications for a special ballot must be made in the method or methods provided for in the resolution authorizing special ballots. You may wish to call the local jurisdiction office to ask which methods can be used to receive an application form. Staff may be authorized to take your information over the phone, so Form 22 can be filled out on their end with the information you provide verbally, as your signature is not required. Again, if your council or school board has not made a resolution to provide for special ballots, you will have to vote in person at an advanced vote or on election day. This form requires your municipal address of your residence, your school elector status if you are voting for a trustee of a school board, the mailing address to which the ballot is sent, or an indication of arrangements to be made for the package to be picked up, a contact telephone number, or a contact email address if you are unreachable by telephone. You will also indicate you are properly on the PER for the relevant local jurisdiction, and then indicate which specific ballot or ballots you are requesting. You can also indicate the address to which you wish to have the package mailed, or if you prefer to have it held for pickup. Charlene will now demonstrate the process of filling out this form for electors already listed in the PER.
Requesting a special ballot package for when you're on the Permanent Electors Registry. You fill out a Form 22. The top portion of the form will be filled out by the returning officer. You indicate your name, the address of where you live, and advise that you're unable to vote at an advanced voting station or at the voting station on election day. You will then advise that you are properly on the Permanent Electors Registry for the above named local jurisdiction. You will indicate what ballots you wish to receive. Chief elected official, which is your mayor or reeve, and councillors. If there is an opportunity to vote for a public school trustee and you wish to, public or separate school trustee, and you wish to have a ballot for those particular positions, you pick the applicable one. You advise where your special ballot should be sent to by regular mail, which is the complete address to where the application will be mailed, including the postal code. If there is an opportunity for you to pick up your special ballot during regular office hours, you would advise accordingly. The date of the request will be put in here, in this block. Contact telephone number, contact email address. And that is how you actually apply for a special ballot.
So what happens if you do not update your information on the VoterLink website before September 14th, 2025, but you still want to vote by special ballot in the October 20th election? This process is a bit more involved compared to if you are already listed in the PER. An elector whose name is not contained in the PER and who is unable to vote at an advance vote or at the voting station on election day must first apply to be added to the PER by completing both Form 22 and Form 13. This first or preliminary Form 22 will indicate that your name is not listed in the PER, but you are applying to do so by completing Form 13 and including a copy of a piece of ID that is either a photo ID such as a driver's license with your current address, or another piece that shows both your name and current address. If you are unsure of what type of ID is required, contact the returning officer. Once you've met all the requirements of this preliminary step and it is determined you are eligible to vote in the local jurisdiction, the returning officer will add your name to the PER. Once the returning officer has notified you that you are now on the PER, another Form 22 will need to be filled out indicating you are on the list, and then a special ballot package can be sent to you. If the municipality has allowed for this, The second, Form 22, could be completed by an election staff member over the phone, as there is no signature required. Now Charlene will demonstrate the process of filling out the required forms for electors requesting special ballots who are not listed in the PER.
How to apply to be on the Permanent Electors Registry and get a special ballot. You need to fill out Form 13, the top, which is the elector registry. The top portion of this form will be filled out by your returning officer. You will then have to place your name, your complete address and postal code, your date of birth, and you need to confirm you're eligible to vote at the above-mentioned election because you have not voted before in this election. You're 18 years age or older. You're a Canadian citizen. Your place of residence is within the voting station, substation, or ward on election day, and you must provide pieces of identification. You have to confirm that you're resident, and one of those pieces of identification has to prove your residency within that local jurisdiction. You will also click whether you're eligible to vote for a public school trustee or a separate school trustee, if applicable. You will have to sign. Once that form is completed, you will go to the next form, which is a Form 22. The Form 22 is a request for a special ballot package. The top portion of the form will be filled out by your returning officer. You will have to have your name, your address, and your postal code. You will then select, I am not on the permanent register for the above named local jurisdiction, and you're applying to be added to the permanent elector register. You confirm that you've included a copy of your identification, and you have completed a statement of elector eligibility on Form 13, which was the previous form. You will then request you want a special ballot, including one of each of the following ballots. One for your chief elected official, your mayor or reeve. One for your council members. And, if applicable, your trustees for school board. Page 2 needs to be filled out as well. You would have to advise where you would like your special ballot to be sent to, and it needs to be sent by regular mail, or if available at your local office, you will confirm that you have arranged for your special ballot pickup to be picked up, and you will put the date of the request in there. You need to include your telephone number and an email address. And that's how you apply for a special ballot when you are not on the PER.
Now that it is determined your name is already listed in the PER, or you have taken the additional step of being added to it, the returning officer will send you a special ballot package. The package will include instructions for handling the ballots and the rest of the required forms and information, the relevant ballot or ballots, an envelope for each of your completed ballot or ballots, a special ballot certificate envelope with Form 25 attached to it, and a large outer envelope, also known as the return envelope, in which to place everything and send it back to the returning officer. When you receive your special ballot package, you will want to carefully open the outer envelope so as not to tear or otherwise damage any of its contents. You should then remove all the inner envelopes and materials and carefully read Form 24, which is the special ballot voting instructions form, to ensure you handle your special ballot package correctly. This form will also indicate the date by which your completed package must reach the returning officer. Please pay particular attention to Section 7 of the form. You must provide a copy of one piece of identification issued by a Canadian government, whether federal, provincial, or local, or an agency of that government that contains your photograph. If you do not provide a copy of the piece of identification required, your ballots will be rejected by the returning officer and will not count in the election. If you are in doubt as to what identification is required and acceptable, please contact the returning officer. Make a photocopy of the required piece of identification and have it ready to send with your completed ballot package. The next step is to deal with each ballot. In order to prevent putting ballots into the incorrect ballot envelopes, we would recommend marking one ballot at a time, placing it inside the ballot envelope of the same elected office, and sealing it before proceeding to the next ballot. If the ballot has the name or names of the candidates on the ballot, mark an X in the space provided on the right-hand side opposite the name of the candidate or candidates of your choice. Do not vote for more than the maximum number of candidates as indicated on the ballot. You may vote for less than the maximum number, but if you vote for more than the maximum number, your ballot will be rejected during the counting process. If your ballot has a blank space to write in the name or names of candidates, it is your responsibility as an elector to write the candidate's name clearly and legibly on the ballot. If your ballot does not clearly indicate the candidate or candidates of your choice, your ballot may be rejected. Repeat this for each ballot. Then place the sealed ballot envelope or envelopes in the envelope attached to Form 25, the special ballot certificate envelope, and seal it. Complete Part 1 of Form 25 with your name, complete street address, including the postal code, and read through the eligibility requirements. If all the statements are true, complete the address and postal code of where you received the special ballot certificate envelope and insert the date, month, and year you are dealing with your ballots. New for this election is the requirement for another eligible elector of the local jurisdiction to witness the act of your signing Form 25 and to sign this form as well. So when you are ready to sign this form, make sure your witness is present to observe you sign it on the line that says signature of an elector. Then your witness will also write their name underneath and sign on the appropriate line. This is a legal document and it is an offense to sign a false statement. Part 2 of the special ballot certificate envelope is to be left blank for the returning officer to complete. The next step is to place the sealed special ballot certificate envelope with the copy of your identification inside the outer envelope and seal it. The final step is to mail or otherwise have delivered the return envelope back to the returning officer. It is your responsibility to ensure that this envelope is mailed back to the returning officer and received prior to the cutoff date and time. Envelopes received after the specified date and time will not be counted. Also note that for this election, local jurisdictions cannot use a drop box or central collection point to collect completed special ballot packages. You may want to confirm with your municipality or school division the best way to return your package. To reiterate these steps, Charlene will now present a demonstration of this process.
You have now received your special ballot package. There is a number of forms within that special ballot package that you would need to complete. First and foremost, you have your ballot or ballots. You have your special ballot envelope for each of the positions you have requested. You have a special ballot certificate envelope, which is the Form 25, which is the form we'll be going over now, and a return envelope. Please fill out your ballot according to the instructions. Place each ballot into the appropriate special ballot envelope and seal. Now it will be time to fill out Form 25. Form 25, the special ballot certificate envelope. The top portion of your special ballot certificate envelope should be filled out by your returning officer. You will then complete Part 1 of the special ballot certificate envelope. You put your name, your mailing address, including your postal code, and you confirm that you're eligible to vote at the above-mentioned election, again, because you're certifying that you have not voted before in this election, that you're 18 years of age or older, that you're a citizen, Canadian citizen, and your place of residence is within the voting subdivision or ward on election day. You will also confirm that you have provided the required proof of eligibility as required by Section 53 of the Local Authorities Election Act, which is your identification. You will confirm that you are entitled to receive a special ballot in accordance with Section 77.1 and 77.2 of the Local Authorities Election Act, because you will not be available to attend the advanced voting station or the established voting station in your local jurisdiction on election day. You're going to confirm that the above statements are true. You will date it by placing the address where the special ballot certificate envelope was received and the date that you're submitting the form. You will sign, and you will also need to have a witness. The witness does not need to be a notary public nor a commissioner of oaths, just somebody, an elector from that jurisdiction, who is witnessing that you have completed. The name of the witness and the signature of the witness. You are now ready to put the package together. Form 25 has been completed in its entirety, including the witness signature. Place your special ballot envelopes into the special ballot certificate envelope. Seal. Copy of your identification needs to be included. Place all of these into the returning officer envelope and submit to your returning officer on the date that is included in your instruction sheet to ensure your vote will be counted. And that's how you complete a special ballot. Thank you.
If you have questions about any of the special ballot processes, please contact the returning officer of your local jurisdiction for more information. Also, our election resources can be found online, and you can reach a municipal advisor by emailing ma.advisory@gov.ab.ca or by calling 780-427-2225. Toll free, dial 310-0000 first. Thank you for watching this webinar and for participating in the local democratic process.